So let's talk about technology. Technology is kind of tough because the problem with technology is that by the time I tell you about it, it's already changed. It changes that fast. We're going to come back and catch page 126 here in a minute. Technology uses these things now. We now have these things called IDXs, Internet Data Exchange, so that the MLS system can actually be read on my web page. And each individual, you can pay a fee and get an IDX link from MyBore. So now you could say, oh, go search RaymondModulin.com, and you can search all of the MLS and make that your marketing scheme through these things called Internet Data Exchanges. And we can do that with Zillow, and we can do that with all the other ones that we belong to, and all of that. However, remember that the IDX has to have, under these new rules now, opt-out policies. All your email marketing has to have opt-out policies and things like that. You got to have disclaimers. I can actually market your listing. All right? John has a listing. I want to find a buyer. I can market John's listing as long as I disclose, hey, this is from, JB Realty. I'm just marketing it for him. And he kind of wants that because now it's more exposure for his seller. Raymond's out marketing, trying to find the buyer. All right. Smartphones. If you haven't got a smartphone, you probably should get one. We've had people come in with flip phones before. Join the 90s. Yeah, not a bag phone. Now most of all the stuff we do actually has apps. ZipForms has an app. MLS has an app. CSS has an app. We can do most of the stuff now on the fly, which is a good thing or a bad thing. Because now that means you're never not available. You know, I have some of my own agents that literally will text me and 25, 30 minutes later, text me again going, hello? Dude, it's been 25 minutes. Sometimes I'm in the bathroom longer than that. Give me a break. Email and texting. When you start doing this kind of stuff, remember, you guys still got to announce that you're an agent. One of the biggest problems I see is on emails that I get from other agents aren't identifying themselves. You got to identify yourself from which broker you work for. And you want your client to know, so you probably should create a, Raymond Modulin, the Modulin Group. Here's my cell phone, here's an email, here's my website, so that it goes out on all my emails. You can actually do that on your text, too. Send a text, you can put an automatic footer. What you don't want to be is what they call a secret agent. You should want everybody to know. That's what we're in the business for, right? Social media has become really hot. Problem with social media is you got to understand that you represent me. So if you're out posting on social media, I don't want you to post in the name of the Modulin Group something that's going to be, what's the word confrontational was where I was going. What are the old three adages? Stay away from politics, stay away from religion, stay away from, you want to do that, go on your own personal site. But certainly don't make a post as one of the agents of the Modulin Group on how, I want to do this with the president, or I want that to happen to that person, or certainly you don't want to get into any of that. So just be careful on all your social media. You also got to tag all that social media. Internet advertising is popular. The new thing that you will see, maybe not in my career lifetime, I'll bet maybe not yours, but maybe the next generation, is this thing called electronic contracting. This is sweet. I've seen examples of this. Works really cool. You guys know those, like when you go to Walmart and you cash out and you write your name on there and you sign it, and for your credit card? There was a lawsuit with Amex where somebody tried to claim, well, that really wasn't my signature. And Amex won the lawsuit and says, yeah, you intended it to be your signature, therefore it's now your signature. That counts. So we now are starting to accept these electronic contracting. I sat in this fake closing once. It was really pretty cool. We sat in one room, and the little tag said Indiana. What was the title company up on Fort Harrison? It was in there. It was in Fort Harrison's complex. There was a title company in one of the old buildings. The other room was another computer, and it said California. And it was supposed to simulate, and what they had was a virtual closing room where you sat down at the computer, and in the computer I could see the upper corner, the other party sitting in the upper room with the camera, and they could see me. And the closer went through all the documents on the screen. She even made a mistake to show you that she could back up and retype the right thing and change it right there. And then what you did at the end is you went through and touched on the screen where you wanted to sign. And then they had one of those things, and you signed your name, Raymond Modulin, go. And it populated all those X's as one signature, so now you didn't have people making mistakes of, oh, I signed that one Raymond D, and I signed this one Raymond, I forgot to do that. It was one signature all the way through. And then at the end, they said, okay, congratulations, and they hit print, and all the documents printed out, and we each had our own copy, all that, and he was in another location simulating California. So theoretically, I could sit at my desk at 1 p.m., and they would be 10 a.m. in California, and we close at the same time.
You really think that's that far away?
Well, you got California investors that are buying here. That's very common.
Well,
Or,
I just meant like this coming up with this like.
oh, do I think, well, why I think it's that far away, I'm sorry, now I get what you're saying now, time-wise, not geographically. Because mortgage companies are still looking for this, what they call a wet signature. They want more court defenses of the judge saying, yes, that's your signature. Because there are people that have tried, well, that's a facsimile of my signature. It's really not my signature. Where they've tried to beat the system. Well, I didn't really sign that document. I signed this pad over here, so that's not really my signature.
If it auto-populates, then you didn't sign each individual.
See, she's one that would cause that problem.
No, I'm just saying, like, if there's, I sat down to buy a car one time at a buy for pay here, and the
That's why it's taken so long. So you're saying that because you didn't sign each one, it wasn't valid?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That each clause that you sign is you're signing for that clause. So if you don't get the full information on each and every single one, it just auto-populates your signature.
No, you would go through each one and look at it and touch it, say, I'm going to sign there. Not, you just wouldn't go to the which she can attest to as a Tyler. There are a lot of people that don't look more, you just sign it and go on through. Yeah. One of the best guys I ever heard that did a closing once, he said, the girl said, can I read the mortgage? She's like, yeah, you're more than willing. He said, but I'll tell you right now, there's nothing in this document that's going to help you if you miss a house payment. And there's nothing in this document that's going to hurt you if you make every house payment on time. She said, okay, I'm good with that. And that was the best explanation I've heard so far, and that's the one I like. You make your payments on time, every time, there ain't nothing in that that's going to hurt you at all. You miss one, there ain't nothing going to help you. It's all going against you. So, but I think that's coming, and it's because of questions like that people are going to go, well, I didn't read, or she didn't read me every one of them. I didn't read one individually. That's really not my signature. I only signed one. You're going to get, that's still going on to this day. There was a foreclosure court in Madison County where the document got sold and sold and sold and sold, which we'll talk about. And then the person actually had enough chutzpah to go in front of the judge and go, prove I signed that. Because the lender was like the fifth one down the line, and we all trade, you know how they all exchange electronically. The current lender said, well, I don't have the actual document. I've got electronic versions. And the girl and the family said, it's not our signature. And the judge threw it out of court. She knew she signed those documents. She was just trying to find a loophole. And so they're going to have to come up with court cases where they go, no, that scribble that you wrote, that's your signature.
I feel like if they just add a document to the beginning of a closing, like this signature that you sign here is the verifying signatures for all of
Yep.
the
Yeah, 'cause that's one more document the title company needs to talk about. You wouldn't sign a document that says that your electronic signature represents your real signature?
Throughout the whole entire, anything that they could represent.
Well, through that through the closing.
Now you know why it's not going to be in our time frame.
Right.
I know when I was in the military, you had to sign your name to get fed, but you used initials, but you signed the document that said your initials were good, and then you initialed that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on. I'm using the initials to verify that my initials are valid? That doesn't seem right. So it's coming. Electronic contracting has been adopted by, see it says here, Illinois, New York, and Washington. There are many of them that are going to. The contract cannot be denied for legal effect because the electronic record was used. That's what I'm talking about. There are people that said, it's not my signature.
I'm sure that they use software to record everything that happens, though.
Yeah, but people are still going to say that signature on that document's not my signature. I signed over here. That's a facsimile of my signature. It all boils down to people are stupid and want to cheat by nature. That family in Madison County lived in the house, knew that they had to make that payment, but opted to go, duh. But I'm not bitter. All right, I want to go back and catch one thing because it wasn't actually in the notes, but it is in the book, and it's very important that we talk about it real quick. So I want to flip back to page 126. We're going to stop the audio and go back.